Welcome, everybody, to the call. How are you? This is Pastor Dale Wafer, and I'm so excited to have you guys on the call with us. Who do we have on the call? Announce your name and where you're from.
Mama Ify. I'm Mama Ify from California, from Los Angeles, California. Good morning.
L.A. Good morning, L.A. How are you?
I'm blessed like you.
You better believe it. You better believe it. I think I heard Robert Smith on the call. Who else do we have? Not yourself. Give us tell us where you're from.
Steve Allen, Dayton, Ohio.
Hey, Steve. How you doing, bud?
I am great, sir. How are you?
All good. All good.
Great.
Good morning, Dr.
Who else we have? Anyone else?
Dr. Dale, Paul Jackson here. Excellent presentation last night. Good to see you back in the saddle.
Well, we were saying last night. We said Paul, man, he has studied this for a conversation. He's getting better and better every week. So, remind me, I need to talk to you offline about something, Paul. So let's make sure we reach out to each other today. Anybody else? Who else out there would like to introduce themselves?
This is Maria from San Ramon.
Atlantic City. Welcome to the call. Who else do we have?
Hi, Vicky Soto, Louisville, Kentucky.
Vicky Soto, Louisville.
Hi,
how are you?
Hi.
Good. Anybody else? Who else do we got?
Edward Gary in Dayton, Ohio.
Hey, Edward, how you doing, bud?
Doing great, sir.
Good. Last couple of minutes. Anybody else? Who else we have on the call to want to introduce yourself?
Marsha Parrish, Atlanta, Georgia.
Marsha from Atlanta. Glad to have you on the call.
Thank you.
Lloyd Gibson, Oakland, California.
Hey, Lloyd, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm blessed. Howdy, favorite. How you doing?
All's well. Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, good to be on the line. Thank you. Good morning to everyone.
All right. Last call for introductions.
Don Joseph, Emeryville, California.
There he is, the star on the West Coast. Don, how you doing, my friend?
I am doing excellent, sir. Just out here getting it done, that's all.
I know, right? I know. Well, I tell you, you guys are doing such a wonderful job holding down the West Coast there. I was just on the West Coast in Southern California, but always good to get to Northern California to see you guys. What a 10 family we have. Just an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, I believe that this is going to be the new dream team.
Well, I hear you. Well, Don, real quickly, why don't you just kind of tell us what's happening in on the West Coast, what you guys are doing, man?
Well, basically, we're just exploding with this trim. The trim is just revolutionary. Everybody that we introduce it to, they absolutely love it. We are having some great success. People are just really exploding with it. We have a lot of elderly people coming in, just customers that are absolutely loving the product. That's what I love about it. I mean, we talking about 70, 80, and we got a lot of veterans coming in that has a lot of health issues, and looks like our product is regulating a lot of their issues, and that's really what it's all about. It's about repairing and giving people their health back, and that's what 10 is saying to the masses right now.
Yeah, good deal. Well, I know you guys are making it happen, man, and can't wait till we hook up and do a synergistic meeting together, man. I think it's going to be fun.
Yes, sir. We miss you greatly out there at the 1 year anniversary, but we're glad we got you back.
All right. Anyone else who wants to identify themselves?
Jesse Bowden, Pentagon.
JB at the Pentagon, man. Hold it down, man.
Doing just that, Pastor Dale.
The conference is now in presentation mode. Your line is muted.
Well, I tell you, we're so excited about this week. It's been a fabulous week as I have been tuning into the calls this week. I have some very good correspondence from people all over the country here telling us some good stuff. You had great coaching and great instructions. Akeisha did a great job as well, giving us information this week. And we're in our Friday here, and on Friday we have our dynamic coach out of Dayton, Ohio, Denise Moore. I'm going to turn it out there and see if Denise is here. Denise, are you on the line with us?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Amazing.
Amazing. I love how you say that. Well, that's great. That's great. Well, we've had an exciting week, and you guys are just coming back from graduations and things of that nature, and you're back in the saddle. You guys got some great things going on in Cincinnati and the surrounding areas. So, what do you got for us today?
Oh my God, I got a lot today, but let's get this show on the road, okay? First and foremost, thank you for all of you guys out in DC. You just made me feel so welcome. You guys picked me up, brought me to the TTP, and we had a phenomenal time. So, again, thank you for your hospitality. Also, you just mentioned Cincinnati, Pastor Dale, and I'm glad you did, because today on the line, I have our newest team builder, Lynn Thornhill, with me. And I am going to have Lynn just kind of share a little bit about her story and one of her biggest challenges, which is an awesome challenge to have, as you guys will find out. Lynn, are you on the line?
Yes, I am, Denise.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You and I have been talking a lot. I just think that what is going on in Cincinnati is just it is just awesome. Everybody's going to hear way more about Cincinnati. Lynn is on fire with her team. Carla Dunn brought Lynn in. Then share along the lines of what's going on here on the East Coast, Midwest, in Cincinnati.
Well, it's really just spreading. It really is spreading. We are just talking to everybody about it, and it's really just becoming a phenomenal business. I just kind of got into this business only because of the results that I experienced. But and once I experienced those results, I wanted other people to experience them. So Denise and I were talking about strategies for building your business, because I plan to. I recently left corporate America, and I really don't want to go back. So I'm really looking at strategies to build my business, and one of the issues that I'm running into is not having enough product. So we were talking about that, so we could come up with certain strategies. And the first and foremost, if you plan to be in business, then you do have to prepare to be in business, and that means you have to have the product to sustain your customer base and just kind of be able to carry out your goals. If you have your goals lined up in front of you, you know how much you want to sell a week, you know how much activity you want to do in a week's time. You've got to be prepared for that. And so you do have to make sure that you've got enough product. And that's what we're going so fast here in Cincinnati, we don't even have enough. We can't even wait on our auto ships to come in. We've got to order in between that. And that's when I'm finding my sponsor, Carla. She is the same way. She is simply on fire. And, I mean, we are just it's just growing leaps and bounds. And so that's kind of what we are faced with.
What's interesting, Lynn, and I want you to share the story when you initially came on. Your husband, you and I were talking, and your husband overheard us talking. And, again, he had some pretty significant questions along the lines of, okay, that sounds good, but what's bad?
Yeah. My husband, Carla, came up with the term CSI, and it's not crime scene investigator. It's critical, skeptical, and impossible to convince. So that is My husband in a nutshell. So while Denise was talking to me, I had her on speakerphone, and he was listening to her tell me about the company and about the effectiveness of the product. So he kind of got up and chimed in. And my husband is a computer technician. He has his own computer business, and he also works for a local hospital in the IT department. So he is one of those very methodical, very analytical thinkers. And like I said, he's very, very skeptical. So he's going to check things out inside and out. So while he was eavesdropping on our conversation, he had already looked up the company on the computer, looking it up on the Better Business Bureau, trying to find what is the catch, what is wrong with this company, what is going to be the big thing. So he didn't find anything on the computer, so he gets up and he comes over and joins the conversation. And in a nutshell, he says, okay, what is the worst thing about this? Because if this works, for my research, if there are only about 6,000 reps in the country, this is going to be a phenomenal opportunity. He said, my wife knows that I don't even do this type of thing, but if the products are as good as they say they are, we will probably be distributors because this is going to be a ground floor opportunity. And Denise told him that the biggest problem you will have is that you will never have enough sprays. You'll always wind up, needing sprays because you just can't keep it fast enough because people want it. And I found that to be absolutely true because you can't. I was in another company for years, and that was the one of the trainings that you always talk about it. But I kind of had to find ways of talking about it because it was only part of the market. It was only to women. So with this product, every conversation I get into someone, I find myself talking about the sprays, and I'm like, I need to stop talking about them until I get more of my inventory in. But I cannot do that. It just comes up in whatever conversation because people will, how are you doing today? Oh, I'm so tired. Oh, my gosh, I'm not going to talk about the sprays. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. But you cannot help it. When people just say instantly, that's almost what everybody leads in with. They're either tired or they've been sick or something has happened or I'm going to see somebody who's sick or it's just, you don't even have to wait for or think about a way to talk about it. It's going to come up. And if you have any kind of faith in this product or believe in this product or like this product, there is no way that you cannot talk about it. That's one of the things that I like about the products in the company is that it helps people. And I am a person who, if I have something wonderful, I want everybody to know about it. If I'm feeling better, I want you to feel better. So it's all, it just comes very, very naturally, I guess is what I'm saying. And it's hard not to talk about it. So you just better be prepared. Because when you open your mouth, somebody is going to want to try it. And you have to make sure that you have the ability to help them try it.
Absolutely. And that's what's so amazing about the products. They work. If there's just one word you have to describe the product, is work. They actually work. We have a product that is results driven. And I want everybody to understand, Lynn lives in Cincinnati. Lynn has been literally driving to Dayton, which is about 50 miles north of Cincinnati, every other day getting sprays, or I'm leaving them at her sister's where she can pick them up. And again, the challenge is actually having enough inventory, because the nugget here in this conversation is there is no way anybody, any distributor that is using these products and talking about these products would ever have any product on hand. There's just no way. The products just, they just sell themselves. The retail end is just one piece of what we do, and it's such an easy piece. And Lynn keeps proving that over and over and over and over. So what's interesting is when we talk to individuals and they say, I don't want to sell anything. Well, you don't have to, because they sell themselves.
Yes.
And that's what you're finding. That is what Lynn is finding. And again, to drive up, to pick up product all the time. This morning we were on the phone and she just said, Denise, I just don't have enough. And we talked about the investment to have enough to run a multi-million-dollar business, because that is exactly what we have our hands on. And when you talk about the results and the products, it's priceless. It's priceless along the lines of what people are willing to do to feel better and feel great, look great, get in shape, all of it. So again, Lynn in Cincinnati, she's spreading her wings. She's now in Atlanta. I understand you went to Atlanta. Is that correct, Lynn?
Oh, my goodness. Yes. We went to Atlanta. My first team member, Tanya Hawley, is just as dynamic as you are, Denise. I tell her that all the time, so she knows that. She's probably tired of me saying it, but I knew she was going to be phenomenal because whenever she sets her mind to do something, and I'm sure Vicki probably was surprised because she walked in the house and it was like, I know about 40 people there. And I mean, it was twofold because it was the holiday, but that's just how savvy she is. She kind of took an opportunity and said, look, it's the holiday, perfect opportunity. And I mean, she pulled it together in about a week's time. It's perfect opportunity to have people over for the holiday, let them know that they're coming to a tasting party and a cookout. It was great. I mean, that's just that, and that will show you the level of influence, being able to pull that many people there on such a short notice. Because people do, they already have plans during the holidays. They didn't have to come to her place for the holiday, especially, like I said, with like a week or two notice. And so when we got there, it was just, I mean, we had a captive audience of about 20-some people. Other folks was there just to party. But the word got around to everybody, and everybody was like, now tell me about these spread. And they were putting us aside at the end, having their individual questions. Vicki had questions as well. People asked Vicki a lot of questions. She did a phenomenal job. So she was fielding questions. I was fielding questions. Tanya was fielding questions. We sold products. And as a result, there are a few people that are actually coming in as we speak this week. Tanya's been on the conversation and following, phenomenal follow-up. She's been following up with a certain, number of people every day so she could get to all the guests that was at her tasting. And people are interested. They're wanting the product. They want to try it. And a lot of them are doing their own investigation work. I want to see how this is going to work because this might be something I want to do. There was a lot that was going on. So we had a phenomenal time in Atlanta, and it just kind of was like the springboard for us to continue on. I mean, so I know I'll be going there more often, and she'll probably be coming here. We're going to Louisville and Dayton because we're yeah. The thing that really resonated with me this morning, Denise, is you as a leader and a visionary. And you were talking about being prepared as a visionary, like you said, to run a multi-million-dollar company. So many people come into these businesses with a mindset is just a little hobby on the side, and I want to make a little extra money. But when you have that vision of, I can't just buy 4 or 5 sprays at a time because I have a vision of a company that I am running. And I think that is what makes the difference. When you don't have enough product and you do have enough product. You're not buying just for the next party. You're not buying just for the next couple of sales. You're buying to sustain a multi-million-dollar business, and that's what makes the difference.
Absolutely, Lynn. Absolutely. And thank you. Thank you for being on the call. Thank you for your comments. And Lynn, basically, again, with that conversation and what I want to really resonate with the listeners today is know what we have our hands on, a multi-million-dollar business, not just enough for the next party or just not minimum, but really, truly sustainability and looking at the big, huge picture globally and where we're going with this movement. This is a movement and the commitment that it takes. And I'll tell you, I do have another team member on the line. It's Stephen Allen. And Stephen, you talk about commitment. Stephen, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you just spend a couple seconds, couple minutes, and just talk about that level? Stephen is a 10th degree black belt. So when you talk about commitment, discipline, focus, you're talking about Stephen Allen. Go ahead, Stephen, and share your story.
Well, I me as a person, I've been doing martial arts for 47 years. And, it's funny. I've never done anything that I didn't always put my very best in it. And when I got in, I made up my mind set my goals on what I wanted to do and where I was trying to go with this martial arts thing. And it's helped me to change the life of thousands and thousands of young people around the country. And when I saw this tent business actually about 4 months ago, I really I got it right away. I'm in the health and fitness, and I take a lot of vitamins, and I didn't like taking vitamins, and just didn't like taking pills. But I knew my body needed them. I mean, at my age, I needed them to stay healthy and in good shape. But one of the things I looked at was the business opportunity, and the major thing that I saw that was that this was for real. I mean, I started getting checks right away, and it just started growing. And it's funny because I have people a lot of times who say, "Well, I haven't got a check in a week or two," and I asked them, "When last time you did a tasting party?" There's a commitment to your business. You can't expect the business just to happen without putting some work in. But, like I was telling Denise yesterday, I don't want to be no card carrier member of nothing. That's not really, when you're thinking about a multi-level $1 million business, it's not going to happen from just good thoughts. I have people coming to my karate program, they want to get a black belt. That's going to take you 3 to 5 years. The last 2 people I tested for black belt took them 7 years. I don't give away nothing. And this business is not going to just give you nothing. There's some work ethic that has to be put into it. I have martial arts every Tuesday. That's one of my days. And we have our open meetings every Tuesday. I never, ever miss that open meeting. Never. And I leave there and I go on to martial art. I go on to my karate class because I made a commitment to myself first. Then I made a commitment to my people in my older group and my team. And Denise says I'm a team player. Unfortunately, Tuesday, May the 26th was 5 years ago, the day that my wife unfortunately passed. And that was a very bad day for me, 5 years ago. And for the last 4 years, I normally just stay home. I don't even come out of the house on that day, but I prayed about it and I had things to do, or I need to be at that tasting party. I need to be at my karate class. I put on the National Karate Championship this Saturday. There was things I need to do. So I prayed about it and I just got over it and went on and started doing what I had to do. We went to the tasting party, had a wonderful time. We all had guests there. So that made it even more exciting. And, I just know that when people put their head together, like-minded people, and they have a strong work ethic, you can accomplish anything. Most importantly for me is that I want to make sure that I'm in the zone to win. I like to fish, and I always tell people when you fishing, you got to be in the zone where the fish are at. You don't want to be throwing out just casting anywhere. I'm looking to win, and in order to win, I got to be doing the right things, being in the right meetings, in the right presentations, talking to people, getting on the calls. I got to have myself involved. That's what's going to help me to be a winner and move to the top of this, be successful in this business.
Absolutely, Stephen. But you hit on a important nugget, commitment. What you have to understand also, guys, we had a tornado warning watch. I think it hit down on the night of our TTT. That's what Stephen on the call. You talked about somebody committed. It was interesting. People were calling, and the tornado happened right before, 10 minutes, 15 minutes before our party. So everything was calm. And all of a sudden, rains and storms, and we were already there, set up. Stephen came on in the middle of a tornado, basically. But you talk about commitment. Guests showed up. Now, that in itself is just mind-blowing. People wanted the information. Some came late because they said the traffic, but they wanted to get there. You talk about a commitment to win, a commitment to be healthy. That's exactly the kind of mindset and energy behind what it is that we are doing and we are promoting. And I have to say this. When we are doing anything in life, people will focus on the result. oh gosh, I'm not rich yet. Oh gosh, I don't have a big organization. Oh gosh, my sister didn't get in. That end little result. However, if you focus on the work to get to the result, all the moving day-to-day parts to get there, and that's what we're doing here in Dayton, the Dream Team, Cincinnati, Columbus, really looking at the day-to-day operations, the results will come. And Stephen made a good point by saying 7 years. It took a couple black belts to get their black belt. It's not a given. It's something that you earn and that you work for. And in this marketplace and in this industry, we are network marketing. But I think the imperative word, and I just wanted to resonate with anyone listening, is the work that's involved. Because with great amounts of work come great amounts of success and reward. So, Pastor Dell, that is really what I wanted to share today. And I wanted some real life testimonies based on commitment and how amazing and incredible these sprays are that we can't keep them. So if you got team members who are sitting on sprays, all they got to do is just talk about it. And the rest, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. You're absolutely right. What you have to do is just share. When you look at the testimony that Lynn had, it's just talking about, she's run out of product and she has to get more product, invest in the product because she's running a business, and how people are just, they're consuming this product because it works. That's one thing that we can be guaranteed of, is that we have product that works. And now, as you have the trim, you heard Don Joseph earlier on the call talking about how this trim is helping so many seniors, in their intestinal problems and things of that nature, bringing correction. And now they're wanting to buy this stuff because it's doing something that nothing else has been able to help them with. So you have product out here that is working in people's lives. It's changing people's lives. And then you go down here to hear this bad dude, Dr. Stephen Allen, who know this. I mean, you're talking about commitment. My gosh, what a commitment that he's made. He's made not only, like he said, to himself, but to his team, to be a team player. That's what makes up strong leadership and strong organization in our company. And when you have strong leaders that are team players, that are building strong organizations, guys, the synergy that is pulled together through these kind of players, everybody wins. Everyone wins. As Paul Jackson always reminds me, about our branding. Our brand is what's important. When the brand wins, we all win. Okay? We all win. So, hey, Lynn and Stephen, thank you guys so much for joining us on the call and giving us that nugget, because every little bit that we get from people throughout our region or outside of our region, it can help us stay focused in building. And let me tell you, you don't want to stop building with a company that is growing to $50 million over the next 18 months. You don't want to stop building. You want to continue to build, and build. Denise, great job, man. You always bring on some great players. You always have some great insight. Any final words before we go to our quotes?
I just want to just say, be committed, not to anybody but yourself. Be committed to your cause, to your goal. Be committed, and any and everything that you want to do, need to do, should do will happen with commitment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Always a great pleasure having you on the line with us. We're going to go across the big pond to the UK and find out if we have Dr. Nita Poole with us. Doctor, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me okay, Dale?
Oh, absolutely. Great.
Good. Apologies, I couldn't get on Wednesday. I got delayed at a meeting and just couldn't get on in time. So you got me today, but that was great information. And, one of the big things that we've heard mentioned today is treat it like a multi-billion-dollar business. Have the stock as though it was a multi-billion-dollar business. Have the attitude and commitment as though it was a multi-billion-dollar business, because it is a multi-billion-dollar business. That's what it has the potential to be. And it's just, how much of that multi-billion-dollar do you want? So, have you got a multi-billion-dollar mindset? Have you got a multi-billion-dollar sense of organization? And that's exactly what Denise and her whole team, that's exactly what they're doing. So, this is absolutely wonderful. And, folks, I keep sharing with you, any little thing that I read that's along the lines of our industry or anything that I hear. And frankly, it's all out there for everyone. You don't have to spend ages finding it out. I mean, I just come across this stuff just in my day-to-day life, basically. And, it's huge what we're sitting on, absolutely huge. For example, the whole of the food industry is so incredibly processed. It's even more processed than I had even thought. Things that you think are fresh, they're not fresh. They're completely frozen or processed. I'm just going to give you some simple examples. Pitted olives. You think that the red inside the pitted stuffed olives is something fresh. You think it's something like a red pepper. It's not a red pepper. It's meant to look like a red pepper. It's actually completely processed. Some of it is pepper, but it's got something called sodium alginate in it, which is formed from hydrochloric acid. That stuff is so incredibly processed so that it can just look like pepper, and so that it can be easily stretched, folded, put inside the pepper, put inside the olives, basically. So everything is about massive, massive, massive numbers and massive, massive, almost manufacturing. Food is almost being manufactured so that it can be produced in bulk, basically. And that's where the processing comes in. Processed cheese, you think that has the word cheese in it, and you think the word cheese is healthy. Processed cheese has hardly any cheese in it. The rest of it is made literally of unnatural substances. Glacé cherries, you think the word cherry is a fruit. You think that it might be something good for you. It's not. Glacé cherries, the glacé is made of something literally, it's cherries stored for months and months and months in a preservative with smelly sulfur dioxide and a saltwater brine, basically, for over 60 days. There's nothing natural in that, folks. And, sulfur dioxide is not something that is a great, great product for our health, basically. So even something like glacé cherries, they're not actually good for us. Mushrooms. You think that there's fields of mushrooms growing out there. That's not how mushrooms are grown these days. Mushrooms are actually grown in mass production in tiny little, almost, it's a liquid made of horse manure, basically, and chicken droppings, so that it can be high microorganisms that make it a manure so that it can grow as fast as possible. It doesn't even grow outside. It's grown in huge, huge sheds so that they can pile them one on top of the other, loads and loads of layers, and mass produce them. So you think your mushrooms are grown, fantastically outside in the fresh air, and you're eating something that's been produced in the fresh air. It's not, folks. Even milk, you think that you're drinking something that's so incredibly healthy for us. Yes, it is healthy, and actually milk, compared to many of the products out there, is still very healthy. But in order to make it a certain percentage of fat, whether it's low fat, semi-skimmed, all the different things that we require, the only way they can do that is they actually take in the milk, they separate out the fat and the rest of the liquid, and then they put it back in according to the percentage of fat that we all want, basically, so that they can give 3 different categories to sell. So even a glass of milk is a highly processed commodity. And, it goes on and on. Where do your eggs come from? Actually, the eggs, most of them, unless they're completely free range, chickens running out there, most of them are produced with sheds with 1 million chickens in there just constantly laying eggs. You can imagine how crowded those sheds are. I mean, it is incredible. Even a stock cube. You buy a stock cube and you think you're making something that has a vegetable stock or a beef stock. That beef stock contains no beef. That means that stock cube hasn't got any protein in it. Frozen fish and fresh fish, which is healthier? You would think it's the fresh fish. Actually, they did some tests. The frozen fish is healthier than the fresh fish because it's caught, frozen immediately, and therefore it retains all the goodness. And fresh fish, even though it's got the word fresh, you don't know how many days that has been hanging around. You know, bean sprouts. You've got bean sprouts in your cold salads that you buy in the shops to make it easy, to make it quick at lunchtime, and you think you're eating something really, really healthy. To make that bean sprout able to be eaten without any bacteria in it, it is soaked in chlorine, 10 times more chlorine that's in a swimming pool. Obviously, it's rinsed as much as possible afterwards to try and get rid of the chlorine. However, you don't know whether there's a little bit of chlorine left in there. We are all ingesting these chemicals without even knowing it. So, you know, obviously, try and eat as fresh as you can, try and eat as healthy as you can, but these TEN sprays, no matter how healthy we think we're eating, there's always going to be something that we're eating that's processed. There's always going to be some air that we're breathing that is polluted. It's absolutely everywhere. So, therefore, it's important to have the TEN sprays because the TEN sprays actually help to detoxify, they help with nutrition, and they help provide the body with what it's needed. So, Clearwater said, each second you can be reborn. Each second there can be a new beginning. It is your choice. It is our choice. It is everyone's choice. Choice, we have choice in the world, but it's really important to make good choices. And our good choice is the TEN sprays, both for our body nutrition and for our income. It's absolutely fantastic. So Clearwater also said, shrug off the restraints that you have allowed others to place upon you. You are limitless. There is nothing you cannot achieve. And whoa, Denise Moore's team, absolutely going for it. So Wanda Fulton said, what is the best gift you have ever received? Better still, what is the best gift you have ever given? Perhaps you'll recall that in each instance, the best gift was one that was tied to the heartstrings of the giver, and that included a part of yourself. So share what you've been fortunate enough to have, and that's the TEN sprays. Share it with your heart and your passion, and take pleasure in the giving, and you will have people come to you in floods. We have something great, go out and share it. Back to you, Dale.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nita Poole from the UK. Glad to have everybody on today. We had a fantastic call. Let me remind you about our Canada pre-launch. We're really getting Canada off the ground and running. We had great meetings last week, and we're scheduled to have another meeting on July 11th. So if you know anybody in Toronto, Canada, and that surrounding area, you want to get them to the winwithcanada.com site, have them register, winwithcanada.com, get them registered, and have them put your name as their reference in that registration so we'll know who referenced them. But we're looking to have this huge turnout on July 11th from our initial turnout this past week. We had about 40 great leaders there. We're looking to have 100 to 200 people on July 11th. And some of you may want to come up with us and join us. It's only an 8.5-hour drive from the Maryland area, but it's going to be a blast, guys. So anybody that you know in the Toronto area, we are looking for leaders. We're looking for people who are ready to open up that country and grow it big, real big. So go to winwithcanada.com and have them register. Thank you guys for joining us on the call today. You guys enjoy your weekend. Have a blast. Share this great opportunity with as many people as you can come across. Share our product line with people that you see in the grocery store that is limping, the people that you see that are overweight. We got product that can help change their lives. So get off this call, as Pastor D say, and go and change people's lives. It is our number one product. Thank you. This call is officially over.